So I got to show you this letter from the Department of the Army. They're just issuing these out, and it's regarding those military personnel from the Army who refused the COVID vaccine and the status of their refusal and their discharge from the Army. You can see here, dear former service member, we write to notify you of a new Army guidance regarding the correction of military records for former members of the Army following the rescission of the COVID-19 vaccination requirement. As a result of the rescission of all current COVID-19 vaccination requirements, former soldiers who were involuntarily separated for refusal to receive the COVID-19 vaccination may request a correction of their military records from either or both the Army Discharge Review Board or the Army Board for Correction of Military Records. Individuals may request a correction to military personnel records, including records regarding the characterization of discharge, by submitting the request to the ADRB or the ABCMR online or by mailing a DDD Form 293 application for the review of discharge or dismissal from the Armed Forces of the United States. And at the bottom, individuals who desire to apply to return to service should contact their local Army, U.S. Army Reserves, or Army National Guard recruiter for more information. So we know the disastrous government protocols here that forced our military to get these COVID vaccinations that were, of course, experimental. There wasn't enough trials on them, and many in the military and the Army had refused to get them. And they were supposed to get general discharges, and many of them did get general discharges. But there were also many dishonorable discharges that were given to military personnel for refusing the COVID vaccine and then being removed from service. And this is very serious because they could lose their VA status. They could lose many of their benefits from a dishonorable discharge. And now all of a sudden, the Army is saying, hey, by the way, if we did this to you, they don't even apologize here. In my opinion, this is not good enough. They need to get on their knees and they need to grovel and apologize to what they did to our military personnel, especially those who they gave a dishonorable discharge for. I mean, shame on you for what you did. And then forcing all the other military personnel to get these experimental vaccines. So this letter is not enough. And more than that, I still believe that we need a new amendment to the Constitution of the U.S. to prevent our government from ever again forcing these medical procedures on anybody. It should be everyone's personal decision, no matter what the situation is, no matter how bad it looks, no matter how bad the virus looks, no matter how much Fauci, worked with some other lab in another country to create it. Whatever he did, it doesn't make a difference. It should be a person's own choice. They should not be able to be removed from military service or their job or be threatened or anything else in the United States of America. If another country wants to do it, it's up to them, but not here. This isn't good enough. You need to issue a formal apology to these people. Every single one of them should be given an honorable discharge, not even a general discharge, an honorable discharge. These are our military, these are our veterans, and maybe even get some repayment for some of this. I mean, we spend so much money on such garbage. I mean, we spend hundreds of billions of dollars on insanity, and there are individuals who have been really affected by this in our own country. That's where our money should go to, supporting these kinds of individuals who were negatively affected by really poor government policies. But you can see what they're doing here. They're trying to cover themselves. They're trying to reverse all this. Now, obviously, if you are a service member, a service member who's been dishonorably discharged for this reason, they, of course, should get this at minimum fixed. Our military leaders and our government should be issuing much more of an apology than this. What do you think about it? Leave your comments below. Catch you guys in the next one.